Fall market has officially begun and we're not off to a good start. What we just had was the slowest September in 23 years. So the question becomes, are we finally in a buyer's market? Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dilyar Murat. I'm a real estate broker here in the Greater Toronto area. And if you're watching this, I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe and maybe share it with a friend, so it will motivate me to keep making more of these for you. Now with that being said, let's go over the numbers for Toronto real estate for the month of September. And I've said this in the past and I will say it again. What I'm showing you here, the average prices, average days in the market, new listings, active listings, etc., is the average of all homes across the GTA reported by the Toronto Real Estate Board. So that means it's not just the city of Toronto, but rather a combination of Peel region, Halton region, York region, City of Toronto, and of course, Durham region, where I do most of my business. So I'm going to quickly go over the stats here for across the GTA, and then we can dive into the Durham region afterwards. As always, I like to start with the average price. Average price of a home was up 3% compared to the same time last year, to now at almost $1,120,000. Number of sales, however, have dropped quite a bit. We're 7.1% to be precise. Now, 4,642 sales is extremely low for a September because the fall market is usually the second busiest time after the spring market, and fall market being September and October. Now here's what's concerning. New listings in the GTA have gone up by 44% compared to the same time last year. And then active listings are up almost 40% compared to the same time last year. We currently have almost 19,000 active listings across the board, and that is a very high figure. So we have active listings starting to go this way and sales going the opposite direction. And for some reason, we haven't seen a drastic drop in prices yet from a month-over-month perspective in the last 2 or 3 months. Now, earlier I asked if we are finally in a buyer's market. Well, a buyer's market is defined as months of inventory exceeding 6 months. And that's not the case for GTA. For the most part, we're lingering around at 3.5 to 4 months of inventory in the most of GTA, which suggests that we're in more of a balanced market than a buyer's market. But that 3.5 to 4 months of inventory is the average of all markets in the GTA. So everything from detached homes, semis, townhomes, condos, etc. So if you live in a specific neighborhood or specific area, it doesn't say much. For instance, I'm going to use a real life example from the stats I pulled this morning. So the example I'm using here is for core Toronto or downtown Toronto, which is everything basically from south of Bloor, west of the DVP, and east of Dufferin. As of this morning, core Toronto has 2,200 active condo listings. And among the 2,200 plus condo listings, just over 1,100 of them are one-bedroom condos. 113 of them are studios, and roughly 600 of them are 1+ dens. In other words, over 80% of these condos are either one-bedroom, 1+ dens, or studios. And here's the scary part. Do you know how many of these one-bedroom condos have sold in the last 30 days? 172 of them. So if you do the math by taking the active listings, which is 1,100 one-bedroom condos, and divide that by number of one-bedroom condos sold in the last 30 days, which is 172, you will quickly notice that there are over 6 months of inventory in this specific segment. So if you're someone looking for a one-bedroom condo in core Toronto, you should have a lot of options because you are officially in a buyer's market. Now that's just one example, of course, and it's impossible for me to go over everything in a 7 or 8 minute video. So if you want to have a more in-depth conversation about your home or what's happening in the market, feel free to book a meeting with me through the link in the bio. You see, the median prices in Durham have been holding steady for the past 3 months. We saw a bigger dip from May to June, but July, August, and September have been fairly steady. Now, one thing I'm noticing is in the last 3 weeks, we're seeing a significant jump in inventory here in the Durham region, especially Pickering and Whitby saw an enormous amount of new listings. Now, keep in mind, if you're looking to buy a detached home in the Durham region under $1 million, chances are you're still in the seller's market, because that's still a very active price point and detaches under $1 million. Although yes, we are seeing some prices moving more down because that is still a very active price point for detached homes. So you should be expecting competition or even multiple offers in that price point. And the next I have up is the median prices for all the detached homes for the last 3 months here in the Durham region. Now you notice Oshawa and Whitby have seen prices drop from a month-over-month perspective. Ajax has been holding fairly steady. And Pickering all of a sudden saw a sharp increase in price in 1 month. Now, to judge a market based on 1 month of inventory is not the most accurate, because I'll tell you why. So in Pickering, you could have these nice double car garage, 4-bedroom, 3,000 square foot detached homes sell in 1 month. And next month, you could have a lot of older 50-year-old bungalows and back splits with no garage, etc. So the average prices could be skewed if you're not looking at these closely. And also what you don't see here is the number of active listings and inventory, as I've said earlier, because active listings have shot up across the Durham region. Now, we didn't see the full impact of this in the September numbers, but I will guarantee you, all these new listings and active listings that are piling up right now, we will see the effect of those on the October numbers. So to sum it up, so far, we had 53,000, just over 53,000 homes sold across the GTA so far year to date. And that's almost half as much if you compare us to the craziness in 2021. Because in 2021, around the same time in the craziness, we've had just shy of 100,000 homes sold. Even if you compare us to the same time last year, we're still behind by almost 15% in terms of number of sales. So ultimately, we have a situation where the inventory is rising rapidly, but the sellers aren't dropping their prices just yet. And this is resulting in homes sitting on the market longer and getting terminated and relisted, as we're seeing new inventory being added to the market week over week. So on one hand, we got these sellers who don't want to lower their prices because they want top dollars for their home. And on the other hand, we got buyers who just can't afford these prices at these interest rates right now. So the next few months, we're gonna have to see what will happen in the market. Are we gonna see a lot of sellers who will just take their homes off the market and not sell, ultimately reducing the amount of active listings? Or buyers jumping into the market, finally trying to scoop up a good deal, or combination of both? We don't know. Time will tell. Until next time.